everyone, Thomas here and welcome back to another video. So today I'm back here for another speed build, and today I'm going to be doing this as a collab with my good friend Fry, aka Simproved. So today we decided to do a Spanish villa build, and she went ahead and built this amazing place, and it's my job to go ahead and decorate it today. So if this is the first video you're watching of mine and you're coming over from Fry's channel, my name is Thomas and I have a channel here called Thomas TV. I make a range of different Sims 4 videos, including speed builds like this one. I do creator Sims, Let's Plays, CC shopping videos, machinimas, and so much more. So I'm sure there's going to be something here that you're going to like. So make sure you hit that subscribe button to not miss a single of my upcoming videos. So this house is up on the gallery. You can head over to the gallery. My origin ID is Real Thomas TV1 to go ahead and download the furnished version, or you can head over to Fry's gallery page. Her origin ID is Simproved to download the unfurnished version. So this took me about 2 hours to decorate. I don't have like footage for the full process of me decorating like every single room, because sometimes it just takes me a while to decide on what I'm going to do, and then I'm just like going around in circles, so it does get a little bit boring. So you may see in some of the rooms it might jump cut a little bit, but at the end of the video I'll have some screenshots so you can see everything in detail of what the finished product was like. So I also did a little machinima at the start there, so if you hope you like that. It wasn't anything too like, extravagant, I just something to show off the house a little bit. So yeah, I'm really happy how this turned out. She did an amazing job at decorating this, and if you haven't heard of Simproved before, then I think you've been living under a rock, because she is an amazing content creator here in the community. She makes some amazing builds, so I'll be sure to leave a link down below to her channel, and so you can go ahead and check out the building process of this. So this took me, well, I've already mentioned that. I was going to say something and I totally forgot. Oh yeah, the colour themes. So for this like house, I kind of kept it a lot of neutral colours. A lot of it was browns and like neutral colours. So as you can see here in the kitchen, a lot of brown colours as well. I just felt like that kind of sticks to the traditional style of Spanish villas, and this is kind of very different from what I've done before, so it was a little bit of a challenge to come up with things. I did have to refer to Google Images and stuff to get some ideas of a direction to go in terms of decorating, and yeah, so it did take me a little while. Like I said, I had to go back and forwards trying to think of what I was going to do, because this is pretty different. I don't think I've done anything like this before, but at the same time, it was a challenge, but it's also pushed me out my comfort zone and make me try new things in terms of building, which is always a good thing, I think. So yeah, I'm just saving here. This is something I do quite a lot throughout my builds. Once I built this whole house once, and I didn't save because I thought, I didn't think of it, to be honest. And then at the end my game crashed and I lost everything. That's happened so many times. It happens sometimes as well when I'm doing Let's Plays, like when I'm recording, then that happens and I've lost all my progress, and it's just really irritating. But at the same time, it isn't always a bad thing, because then when you go back and do it again, you do it better than what you did before, if that makes sense. So it isn't always a bad idea, but if you push for time, then I suppose it is. So yeah, I'm really happy how this turned out. Like I said, when she built this, she also kind of put some things in the rooms like the flooring and wall coverings and stuff, which kind of helped me out a little bit, because like I said, I wasn't really too sure where to go in terms of direction. I did change up some of them, but the flooring here on this main floor was kind of like this marbly effect, which is something I was going to put in, so I guess that saved me a job a bit. I feel like in this house, well, in terms of in-game objects, there wasn't really a whole lot of kind of Spanish style paintings or rugs. I kind of struggled in that sense trying to get them in, but I did manage it in the end. So we're just working on the downstairs here. I did this over a couple of days, actually. I worked on the downstairs, I think, over one day, and then the upstairs I did the next day. Here in this room, we're doing kind of like a little study room. This was, well, what you might have seen is once I started, Fry actually put some of objects in certain rooms, so she marked out the rooms, and then she might put like a toilet in where the bathroom is going to be, if that makes sense, which is a really good idea, actually. So, so I can see where she had in mind where things are going to go. So this was, I think she had a computer and a bed in here, so I just made it into a computer room. I think this house has 3 bedrooms and 3 bathrooms in total, which all the bedrooms are upstairs. I mean, there's nothing wrong with having a bedroom downstairs, but I just thought that for this kind of the area in the house, just having a computer room kind of fit a little bit better. So we're pretty much finished with the downstairs now. Well, like I said, I don't know if I mentioned at the start, but something I do is I kind of do a bit of a room and then I kind of get a little bit tired of it, or I just kind of run out of ideas for it. Then I come back later and finish it off. In this case, I think something I always do is with curtains and paintings and those kind of like little touches. I always do those towards the end. I don't know why, I've just always done that. It's a little bit random. Sometimes I finish a complete room and then move on to the next one, and sometimes I go back and forwards. I suppose for a viewer it isn't the best thing to do that, since it might make you a little bit dizzy, but I don't know why, it just seems a bit easier to do it that way. So we're working on the bathroom here for the downstairs. There's only one downstairs, and I think there's 2 or 3 upstairs. So as you can see there, I put a bath in the middle of the room. Now, I felt like, I don't know why, but this bath was like, it felt really, really good to the theme of this house. Can't speak. To the house. And it just looked really, really good having it in the middle of the room there. I don't know why, it just fit nicely. I suppose the room was just a good size to put it in there. And I've never really done that before. I mean, I've seen it in real life and stuff, but you know, it was just something different to do. So we're going in with the curtains here. Now, one annoying thing I found was that there wasn't really any curtains in-game that fits with these windows very nicely, apart from these ones, which I think we got with Vintage Glamour. I think that's where pack it came from. But at the same time, they didn't have the right colour swatch to kind of match it. So I went with the black, and I wasn't really too sure what I thought of it to start with, but after a while, it kind of grew on me a little bit, this colour. It doesn't perfectly match, but at the same time, I think that black kind of pairs with everything, so, you know, I think it turned out okay in the end. So I used, one thing I tried to do in this build was not use those 150 simoleon circle lights, as you can see in this room right here. As you would have seen downstairs, I tried to use some other ones, and they were actually kind of nice lights that fit with the, you know, the theme of this house. But upstairs, I did use a couple more of them, and they are like really generic, but at the same time, they just light up the space really, really nicely, so I end up using them quite a lot. So this video, we haven't really got a whole lot of left. Oh, I can't speak, here we go. A lot of time left actually, but we are nearing the end of the build here. We're working on the upstairs now. This room was a little bit of an awkward shape to try and get everything in. I was going to do a little seating area there, but I wasn't really too sure where to put kind of like the dresser. I suppose in the Sims you don't really need one, but at the same time it kind of adds to that realism. Another thing I was going to say is that, like I said at the beginning, I tried to keep it to neutral and brown colours, but at the same time, I felt like if I did that throughout the whole build, it might kind of get a little bit boring. So upstairs you might see some slightly different colours, like in this room, and can't speak. If you're new to my channel, you know I can't string a sentence together. One thing I try to do, like I was saying, is that like this room has blue colours in it, which kind of breaks it up a little bit, if that makes sense. Wow, that took so long to explain. I was kind of getting distracted because I was getting a notification on my phone and I was trying to read it at the same time. Anyway, so I did put one of those bars in. Not really bars, well they kind of are. Those little globe things, which you've got with Vintage Glamour. Just thought those fit nicely in that space. I didn't really know what to do with that space, to be honest, but that seemed to fit nicely. A lot of, like, I didn't say this actually, but a lot of the items I used in this build were actually from Vintage Glamour. I felt like that was a really nice pack to use for this build, sorry. Those items we've got in there fit really nicely with the theme of this house, I thought. So we're nearing the end of the video now. Like I've said like a million times, and I'm starting to run out of things to say. That's one thing I like to do is, well, I was saying at the beginning how I cut out, you know, a few bits of the room and stuff just to kind of make the video a bit less boring, but at the same time it also makes it shorter, which is kind of good for me because then I don't have to talk for as long, because after a few minutes I run out of things to say and then I'm just like rambling and repeating myself. So another thing I had to do was actually, I'd actually just cut it out there, but I was just about to go into it, was moving some of those windows down. They were a little bit high, and for the like curtains to work properly I had to move those down a little bit, so I'm sorry, Fry, if you didn't want me to do that, but it was only a few windows. So we're working on the second bedroom here, and one thing I did throughout this whole build was actually incorporate these brick walls, or stone walls I guess. I think she put them downstairs in the living room, and it was a really, really nice thing, kind of like a feature wall sort of thing, so I did incorporate that quite a few times throughout this build, and it just added a nice little addition to it, nice little feature wall, so I did incorporate that a couple of times. This is the second bedroom I'm working on, like I said, and I really, really like this one because of the bed positioning. Now it's kind of like in the middle of the, not really in the middle of the room, but it's kind of like on a diagonal, as you can see there. Not really something that, I don't know what you think of that, but I thought it looked okay actually, and it's something I don't really do. I just thought it kind of looked nice like that way. So this room was, I wasn't really too sure what to do with the middle bit of it. No, not this room. The next room we'll go on to, it was a little bit odd in terms of shape. I did get the necessities in, but there was kind of like a bit of a wall, not wall, oh my god, I can't think of words. In the middle of it, I wasn't really too sure how to fill up that space, but we'll get onto that room in a second. So we're working on one of the bathrooms. I think there's 2 bathrooms upstairs and 1 downstairs. As you can see there, I'm saving again just to make sure. Again, I incorporated. Can't speak. I'm talking this. If you're new to my channel, like I said earlier, but it's always when I talk too fast, and then I end up stumbling on like every single sentence. But at the same time, that's probably why I run out of things to say, because I talk too fast. If I talk slower, then I wouldn't have as much to say, would I? So we're working on one of the bathrooms here. For the theme of these bathrooms, I kind of kept it the same. I didn't want to go too extreme, but you know, kind of looks nice, I think, how everything turned out in terms of the bathrooms. Another thing I actually incorporated a lot into this build was city living items, especially the paintings. Now, you wouldn't really think that there would be a Spanish style in terms of those city living things, but they just fit really, really nicely with the theme. And I've noticed that with a lot of different themed videos I've been doing, that the paintings from from City Living actually match a lot of the different things. And I don't know why, it just does. It's like, I always find it's just such like versatile in terms of the paintings that we've got with that pack. And I use them literally in every single build. I just love them so much. So we're working on one of the other bathrooms here. And what I did with this room actually was change up the brick wall that we used. I felt like I was getting a little bit repetitive using the same one throughout every room, but that one was, I suppose it's a little bit similar in a way, in terms of like this, it's a bit like of a light colour to it, but it was a little bit different, and I wasn't really too sure what I thought of it to start with, but it's kind of grew on me, and I think it looks really nice in that bathroom. So this is the room that I thought was a little bit of an awkward shape. I wasn't really too sure where I was going to put the bed, but I did manage to put it up. It was up against the wall, but I do think you can actually scoot across that bed to get the other side, I think. I'm not exactly too sure. Anyway, we're pretty much at the end of the video here, so I hope you enjoyed. Like I said, if this is the first video you're watching of mine, and you come over from Fry's channel, then welcome. I hope you enjoyed this video, and make sure you hit that subscribe button to not miss a single of my upcoming videos. Make sure you head over to Fry's video so you can go ahead and see the building process of this. I'll leave a link down below to that. I'm going to leave you with some screenshots now, so thanks for watching. Make sure to leave a like, comment, share, and subscribe if you haven't, and I'll see you all next time. Bye!